Alright guys, so this is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions, and this is WWDC After Party. Alright guys, so WWDC is 2017 has just finished. I got a lot of notes here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, guys. We're going to get into it. I'm going to give y'all guys opportunity to answer you guys questions. Also, everything about WWDC and everything in between. All right. So WWDC just not finished. So we gonna have the after party. Let me go and put in my disclaimers real quick, and we gonna talk about it. And a lot of exciting stuff that we gonna talk about here. So we gonna get into it. So let me get into it here. Oh, that's Monday morning hangover. No, I don't need that one. Let me get back into this here. All right. So I'm trying to get in my disclaimers here real quick, guys. WWDC just finished. So before I get started, I want to go ahead and get everything. Listen, I got me a fresh cup of coffee, guys. It was weird. It was crazy. It was exciting. Wow, man! Apple took the gloves off. We gonna talk about it. We gonna get into it. All right. So let me go and put this here. Let me get into this. Woo! Wow. All right, here we go. Let me put in my disclaimers real quick. All right, and I'm gonna put the. All right. Let me put this in. Yes. I know y'all guys coming aboard real quick, but we go talk about this, man. Woo! All right, we go get into this. Let me save this here. All right. I see y'all guys starting to show up. Welcome to the live stream. We're going to stay and let's see. All right, we're going to save that. All right, so y'all guys can see this. All right, let me get into it. Yo, I see CWL in the building. I see everybody coming in the building. All right, so let's check this out, right? Wow. Listen, I'm going to go on record. Hang on a second. No. Listen, I'm going to go on record, guys. And I'm going to say that I watch all the Apple events, all the WWDCs. I watch everything from the beginning to the end. And I'm going to tell you guys, this WWDC was not weak. This was great. Man, I'm jumping up and down like, what? Man, let's get into it. This was not weak. This here, Apple took the gloves off. Listen, I don't praise Apple for a lot of things. Right? Apple took the gloves off. They bought it. They lit up there and slam Android big time. Wow. What did we just see that Apple just took the gloves off and say, you know what? We gonna bring it. I'm telling you, let's get into it. I got my notes here. All right. Let me get into it. All right. So they talked about updates for the tvOS. All right. And they got 50 partners, and Amazon is coming to the tvOS. That's great because I'm a subscriber to Amazon, so I get Amazon movies. That's going to be pretty good. So that's good. That is good. This is good. All right. So Amazon is coming to tvOS. So that's a good update. All right, for the Apple Watch, they got iOS 4 for the Apple Watch, okay? You're getting new watch faces, also Siri integration, new features, new music apps, that you can have a new playlist with music, all right? And also you get some more fitness features. So that's pretty good for watch OS, all right? So that was pretty good. Now, we got a good, very, very good, obviously Mac OS. All right, so we got Mac OS, and they changed the name. Obviously, it's a new iteration. It's called High Sierra. All right, and so they're moving Safari to being super ultra fast. They compared it to Chrome, and it wipes the floor with Chrome. Listen, Safari has always been pretty fast. All right. Also, let's see, they're doing auto blocking for sound. This say when you open up an app. I mean, not open up an app, open up a website, and sometimes you get blasted with a commercial. So they're doing like some auto blocking. I mean, that's okay. Some new tweaks. They got a new mail client. Also, they do a split view, and it's going to use, your mail is going to use 35% less space on your PC. All right. The Photos app's getting updated. You know, and they're using the new Apple file system as far as video. They're using the new H265 video support, and they do now have what's called Metal 2. That's for graphics and stuff like that, and Metal for VR. All right, so for developers that do VR, AR, and stuff like that, it's now available for Mac OS High Sierra. All right. All right. So let's get into. All right. So they did talk about new Macs. Okay. A new iMac with the Kaby Lake processors. We know this was gonna happen. So they got the new iMacs, 500 nits of brightness, which is a very bright display. Support up to 32 to 64 gigs of RAM. So you do have, and then you're getting USB Type C's, all right, for the 21.5-inch MacBook, you're getting faster graphics. The 27 inch, you're getting faster graphics, but you get more VRAM. You get 8 gigs of VRAM, and the 21 inch is you get 4 gigs of VRAM. All right, so that's some updates with the iMac. All right, so we're getting MacBook Pros. All right, so we're getting MacBook Pros. All right, and MacBook Pros. It's just updates. All right, a lot of updates, and it starts off at $12.99, and they're getting all the Kaby Lake processors and stuff like that. Okay, then they showed off a new iMac Pro. All right, iMac Pro. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Did y'all see this new iMac Pro? They're putting everything in the kitchen sink in this thing, right? I mean, they're putting Xeon processors in this thing, man. Hey, listen, I do video editing, and I do a lot of intense editing and photo editing, all right? Man, they putting Xeon processors in these things, man. All right, so Xeon processors in them, 16 gigs of VRAM, 22 teraflops. Also, listen, I wrote this down. I don't know. I have to verify this. 128 gigs of RAM. 128 gigs of RAM. 128 gigs of. Listen, I wrote this down. And it say 128 gigabytes of ECC memory. Man, let me tell you something. Now and it's a 5K display. You can get that. The lowest model is gonna set you back $5,000. All right. So for the 8-core Xeon processor, okay, 16 gigs of VRAM, and I don't know how many gigs of RAM that will have. It may have the 128 gigabytes of RAM, 5K display. That is going to be great. $5,000. That's going to be for that. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Like, wow. All right, so Apple got my attention. All right, I'm going to tell you, Apple got my attention right now. I'm excited about this. All right, so let's go to talk about iOS 11. Now, I've been talking about this for a long time. What was the first thing that Tim Cook did when he got on stage, when he talked about iOS 11, right? The Android versus iOS. Now, according to Tim Cook, iOS is on 86% of Apple devices. And I said about 80%. He said 86%. And Android, the latest version of Android, is only on 7%. 7%. Now, I thought it was above 10%, but his statistics says 7%, which we knew this already about Android. Android is a mess. All right. Now, on iOS 11, you get updates. And I said this, guys, you won't see no big fantastic updates with iOS. All right. You're going to see these minimum updates with iOS because they don't have to do anything to iOS. They really don't. They don't have to do anything to iOS. But they did update the maps. They update the Messenger. Okay. Listen, Messenger, all the millennials like Messenger. But what I liked that they're adding Apple Pay, person-to-person payment system, right? So you can actually send payments via text message using Apple Pay, authentication with your thumb, and that's pretty cool. You got a lot of people that have Apple devices, so that is pretty cool. And they updating Siri. Now we knew that was the rumor about Siri. All right, so they are updating Siri, which is really badly needed. All right, so updated Siri with follow-up questions. Now we already know that Google can do that already. All right, we already know that Google could do this already, but now we getting updates to Siri. All right. Now they're also doing some updating with the cameras, software, as far as updates with pictures, and they showed a lot of slow-mo and all that stuff like that. And they doing a big update. This was pretty good here. That they did a big update with the control center. It has its own page. All right, so they did an update with control center, and they did a update with live photos, which was pretty neat. All right, so I like that. I like that. Man, I'm telling you, I'm sitting back watching this keynote address, and I'm telling you guys, in my personal opinion, you never see a lot of Apple videos on this channel. All right, we watch these keynote addresses, we get up here, we laugh, same old Apple. Nah, man, Apple to me pulled the gloves off. We're gonna get more into it. They got what's called AirPlay 2. All right, so like on the Galaxy S8, you could play songs on different speakers. Like you could have 2 Bluetooth speakers and you could play one song here and one song on there, right? Well, with the new AirPlay 2, you could play multiple songs on multiple devices. What? Yeah. It's like, okay, so wait a minute. Now you got my attention. All right, so now with AirPlay 2, you can play music on multiple devices. Listen, right now, if you got an Android phone, you can only play music on one Bluetooth device. On the Galaxy S8, you could do it on 2. But with the Apple AirPlay, you could be able to do it on multiple devices in different rooms, according to what they were saying. What? The gloves is off. Man, come on, man. All right, so here we go. All right. And my goodness, did y'all see iOS for the iPad? All right, so this is the multitasking stuff that we've been begging for. You got a big old iPad. You can't do nothing on it, right? No, it's totally different. I like this. This was something different. This is different. I like this. So the iOS for iPad, you bought in good multitasking going on here. Drag and drop text, pictures, photos, anything. You could drag and drop across everything. I was like, what? All right, cool. Then they got a new file system that it's a file, and it support God, man, I'm telling you, I'm so excited about this. It's a file that when you open it up, you can put multiple things in it. It's cross-platform and stuff like that. So, man, we have some stuff that's going on here. It was nice. I'm trying to think of the name of this stuff here, guys. So I'm trying to get into this. And like OneDrive and OneNote, not OneNote, but OneDrive and Box and all that stuff like that. So that's pretty neat. All right, so we rolling with that. We rolling with that. And here we go. Apple released what's called HomePod. All right. Now this thing is under 7 inches tall. It has 7 tweeters in it and a 4-inch woofer. All right, and it's using the Apple A8 chip. All right, and it has Siri built in. Now, they talked about like rocking the house, that this device is gonna be very loud, very clean, no distortion. I mean, everything. And they're gonna have Siri built in. They talked about it. I was like, wow, right? All right. So that was pretty neat too. All right. Then they doing a complete overhaul with the App Store. All right, the App Store is going to be a complete overhaul. And yes, that HomePod is $350, $349. Hey, listen, it's Apple, man. Shit, man, we all know that Apple always go beyond. This is high-end stuff, man. It's none of that $199, $39, $49. No, this thing is $350. You got to pay to play. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. I ain't tripping about that. Thing $350, I'm all in. All right, let's go. App Store. What I like what they're doing with the App Store is they revamping it. It gives, to me, this is my personal opinion. People that develop apps, you put it in the App Store, sometimes you don't get recognized. I think with the App Store, what they're doing with the new look, it give you this today view, like somebody that just downloaded, just uploaded some new content, some apps or whatever. So I like that. I like the new App Store. The App Store looks good. And also have a dedicated gaming tab with the today's view and all that stuff like that. So a lot of developers could get recognized a little more. So that's pretty cool. Also, in-app purchases, you can see all your in-app purchases all right there. So it ain't no problem. People talking about, oh, I just spent $2,000. I didn't know I was going to have all these in-app purchases. So they're going to have a way where you can see all your in-app purchases. Boom, right then and there. Listen, I see y'all guys here. I see y'all guys in there. What's up with you? I see Tan in the building. What's up with you, Tan in the building? I see Tan in the building. I see Tech 4 Reviewer is in the building. I see a Forbes Tech Review in the building. I see Serge in the building. Mark Teasley in the building. I see all y'all guys in the building. I see y'all right there. All right, here we go. I'm gonna tell you, this is what I want to talk about all this stuff, but hold the music. We've been talking about VR for a long time. VR been out forever, right, on Android. AR is on a couple of devices. Fab 2 Pro. I've actually been excited about AR. I've did videos about AR, all right? Fab 2 Pro. Plenty of videos about the Fab 2 Pro AR on my YouTube channel. ASUS coming out with a device that supports VR and AR, the ASUS ZenFone, right? With the AR capability, right? Apple just shut it down. They say, you know what? We're going to do AR and VR. What? Did y'all see the demo? I love AR. I've been talking about AR for a long time on this YouTube channel. Apple just said, you know what? We about to do AR. And they did it. The demo they did was on an iPad. It was an iPad Pro. It was astounding. They had my attention. Shout out to Deepak. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. Super chat is wide open, guys. AR, listen, if you don't know what AR is, it's augmented reality, all right? I got videos on my YouTube channel showcasing AR. And I've told you, I've been ecstatic about it. I've been talking about AR on this YouTube channel since last year. I got plenty of videos on my YouTube channel about AR. Apple just about to bring AR. And it looked like AR is supposed to look like. Man, I mean, the ASUS phone AR, that device not even out with the 8 gigs of RAM, with the VR and the AR. Apple said, you know what? Y'all gonna mess around and we about to bring it. Gloves was off and they showcased AR, all right? And look, shout out to everybody that was in the Telegram group that was like, what? Yeah, we watching the Keto to Dress. We all in the Telegram groups, man. We all like, man, it was astounding. First of all, I don't make a lot of Apple videos. I don't even use an iPhone. Every now and then, I mean, I got all the iPhones, right? I don't use them, but man, did they just bring it or what? All right, so Apple just bought it. Apple just bought it. And you know what Apple just did too? Took the gloves off. iPad Pro. 2017 iPad Pro with a 10.5-inch screen, but they took the bezels. They got slimming the bezels a little bit, all right? All right, with a new display. 600 nits. 600 nits. Bright. It's going to be very bright. Okay? And then they're bringing a two-tone display to the iPad Pro. Performance. Check this out, right? They're using the A10X Fusion chip. Has 6 cores and 12-core GPU. All right? Guess what? You talk about fast charging, boom, Apple just bought it. Fast charging for the iPad. Usually it takes about iPad about 4-5 hours to charge. Now we getting fast charging, right? All right. Every iPad that's coming out is gonna have 64 gigs of base storage. That's gonna be the base storage. No more 16 gigs. They done. All right. So 64 gigs of storage. All right. They showed off some. Let me tell you something. I do photo editing. I do video editing. All right. What they just showed on the YouTube channel. What they just showed with this new iPad, with this A10X chip with photo editing. And they look, the guy made a comment. I was like, wait a minute, what did he just say? He's basically saying that this iPad photo editing, and I saw all that lighting effects and all that stuff. Let me tell you something. He said this could do photo editing better than an i7 processor. Now wait a minute. Yeah, that sounds like, whoa. But what I seen with all the lighting and shadows and stuff like that, it takes a lot of resources, a lot of computing power to do that. All right. For people that know how to do that does video editing and photo editing, y'all know how much intense of video editing and photo editing takes a lot of resources. Yes, you need i7 processors. Yes, you need 16 gigs of RAM. Yes, you need high-end displays to do photo editing if you're doing it as a profession. Okay, I do a lot of photo editing. I do a lot of video editing. So when they make claims that, and I'm looking at it with my eyes, and I'm looking at this thing doing all this photo editing with this Apple Pencil. Wait a minute, you didn't caught my eye a little bit. All right. So that was something that kind of blew me away doing that photo editing on this iPad. All right. Now, also the new iPad have what's called ProMotion. ProMotion, 120 hertz. Wait a minute. See, a lot of people don't understand what's going on here. I think they said the iPad 1 or 2, the older iPad generations was refresh rate was like 12 or something, or 24. And I think like the latest, the past generation iPad Pro refresh rate was about 48, I think. All right. This refresh rate is 120 hertz. Now, I don't know any other tablet that has a refresh rate of 120 hertz. Most people TVs don't even have 120 hertz. Most people TVs don't have 120 hertz. This refresh rate at 120 hertz, to me, is going to give you a crisp look, faster, smoother scrolling, stuff like that. So having a high refresh rate, wow, wait a minute. Yeah, listen. They just caught my attention on this stuff, guys. All right. Now, check this out, right? Check this out. The iPad Pro, this new one, they're putting iPhone cameras in this thing, right? High-end iPhone cameras, 12 megapixels in this thing. Optical image stabilization, 7 megapixel front-facing camera. The same cameras that's on the iPhone 7. iPhone 7 is coming to the iPad. Now, Apple never really put a high-end camera on an iPad. They always put 5 megapixels, VGA cameras, maybe a little cheap camera up front, little 5 megapixel camera in the back, or 8 megapixel camera, whatever, however they did. But now they're putting the high-end 12 megapixel camera with optical image stabilization on this thing, and a front-facing camera to boot. Wow. All right, so the base price is $649, and you could get the 12-inch, 12.5-inch, going to be $799 respectively. All right. Woo! Man. All right. So, what I just saw, listen, I'm an Android fan, all right? I do a lot of videos on this YouTube channel, and it's all Android. And I went in with the Apple event with this type of mind frame that Apple just gonna have the same old, same old. We already discussed on this YouTube channel that iOS 11 wasn't gonna change. I mean, they can't change. I mean, they're selling, almost 100 million iPhones. Why change it? But I believe this was one of the best keynote addresses I ever saw. All right. First of all, it's the best keynote address of 2017 so far. All right. Now in 2016, that might have been different, but I'm talking about right now. Right now, this was Apple laying the law, laying the smackdown. Right now, trying to take the heavyweight belt from Android. He came on stage. They smacked Android in the face, talking about 86% of iOS users are the latest and greatest. Only 7%, which is probably right, of Android users ain't even on the operating system. And we got Android all about to come out, and we only got 7% on Nougat. Hey, listen, he came out. You know what I'm saying? What? All right. Man, let me get into you guys' comments real quick, man. Wow. Woo. All right, so Miss Chicago said, you just saw greatness. Apple ain't playing. You gonna pay for it, though. Hey, listen, it ain't gonna be cheap. $649 for an iPad. Hey, it ain't gonna be cheap. But man, they bought it. They ain't playing around this year. The iOS 11 for iPad is exactly what it should have been years ago. All right, cool. They're bringing it this year. AR, VR, what? All in one keynote address. You gotta be kidding me, right? AR on a, wait, that's unconscionable. I didn't think Apple's gonna do AR, maybe next year, 2 years from now, right? Android haven't even done AR right yet, right? Gee. All right, Eli said no iPad mini though. Listen, I think the iPad mini is done. All right, Serge said I'm still blown away. Man, I'm with you, Serge. I mean, look, as a tech reviewer, I go into stuff as an open mind. And I didn't have real big high expectations for the keynote address. I didn't. We all didn't have no high expectations for keynote address. Boring? Not even close. This not even close to being boring. I'm up there jumping out of my seat, man. Like, what? What? They're putting, Xeon processors? Wait a minute. All right, you got my attention. All right. iPad mini is dead, yes. Finally, Apple stepped up. Yeah. Apple had no choice. Yeah, but I tell you what. When they did it. They did it. All right. I mean, man. Look, I can tell you right now, Apple probably sitting back right now looking at us tech reviewers on YouTube right now saying that, you don't think that Apple got their people out there looking at us right now as we doing all these live streams after the event? Of course. They sit back and smoking a cigarette like, I told you we gonna come. Didn't I tell you we gonna come? Y'all doubted us. Now it's up to Android. It's up to Android to bring it. Here we go. Let's see. Bixby, what? Hey, Siri needed this update. All right, man. All right. Let's see. Finally, Apple is not being bored. It's not. Techzilla in the building. Robert Lee is in the building. I hope that Central will be the next to take my money. I love Android. All right, I do not like Google, the company. Right. Well, hey, you right, because Andy Rubin said that he's coming out with his own operating system. All right. So yeah. Yeah. Pins and needles, right? Android. Yeah. Right. Let's see. No headphone jack. No go. Man, headphone jacks are going away. HTC done got rid of headphone jacks. Apple done got rid of headphone jacks. We hearing that the Google Pixel won't have a headphone jack. Headphone jacks are done. Listen, I wear Bluetooth headphones. I'm just gonna be honest with you. If you want a phone with a headphone jack after 2017, you might have to get a 2016 or 2017 phone. Once we hit 2018 and all these new slew of devices come out with no headphone jacks, listen, we have to come to the realization headphones are going away. You might have to stick with an old phone. Just never update. Because, hey, listen, I came to the realization after seeing Apple drop when they dropped the phone with no headphone jack, you know everybody else was gonna follow suit. We got HTC with no headphone jacks. You got all the companies now. Samsung go come out with the Galaxy S9, probably ain't gonna have no headphone jack. You got the Pixel go come out with no headphone jack. HTC said, you know what? No headphone jack. The Essential phone does not have a headphone jack. You got a lot of devices with no headphone jack. The Lee Echo Lee Pro 3s and all those phones, they don't have no headphone jacks. Headphone jacks are done. All right. Let's see. Apple just dropped the mic. Yeah, they say, guess what? We winning. Boop. Huh. I want to give a round of applause to Apple keynote address because not only did they bring it, they bought it. Not only did they bring it, they came on stage with their chests up. They was marching, and they bought it. All right, here we go. Happy to see Apple's ditching the lightning port for USB Type-C. Right, so the new iMacs does have USB Type-Cs on it. Right? Everybody cried, hey, we need USB Type-C. All right, Apple say, I got you. USB Type-C on the iMacs. USB Type-C on the iMacs, yeah. All right, let's see. Wow. Why come up with Nougat when a few people have it? Hey, Android been a mess for a while. This is the first year that I've ever seen Android being this bad when it comes down to software updates. Now, if you go back and look at last year's Apple keynote address, at least Android was in like the 20 percentiles, I believe, with Android 6. I think they was in the 20 percentile, but Apple was already in the high 80s already with as far as updates and stuff, right? So I believe, because we watch this keynote address every year, I believe Android was higher with Android 6 than Android 7. Right now, listen, we are 6 months in the year. 6 months in the year. Android Nougat has been out since 2016. We know this already. The LG V20 that came out in September of 2016 had Android Nougat on it. Now, we 6 months into the year, and Android Nougat been out in September of last year, and only 7% of Android devices is on. And look, Tim Cook blasted Android. He said it's a mess. Tim Cook said Android a mess. Now you got a CEO of a company call out another company. Man, if I was Android, I'd be sitting back like, damn, man, we gotta do something about this, man. You got Apple just left there and called us out. Apple just called them out. 86% compared to 7%. Man, and didn't Apple just called them out? He said Android a mess. Woo! Wow, man, hey, Apple just came. Yeah, Android and Microsoft are working together. About to cry in a few months. Yeah. Hey, look. Hey, it is what it is, man. Apple looked over at Google and dropped the mic and said, checkmate. Look, KB in the building. KB in the building said, KB in the building, this said, Apple looked over at Google, dropped the mic, and said, checkmate. Wow. Shouts out to KB in the building. I would take Android over Apple any day. And look, I unboxed all the iPhones on this channel. I got iPads. I got iPad Pros. I got iPads everywhere, right? And I don't use them. And the reason why I don't use them is because of the multitasking, you know, and because of the ecosystem, and because a lot of things you can't do on an iPad. All right. But this here changes things. This iOS 11 may change some stuff for me in my thinking. What I saw today, all that stuff with the pencil and multitasking and all with the dock at the bottom, all that stuff changes things. It really does. It really does for me as a business person. It changes things. And I think that's what Apple wanted to do. Apple said, you know what, I'm going to bring it. Hey, check us out. We got multitasking. You want drag and drop? I can do that. You want copy and paste? We got that too. You want to do this here? You want putting pictures in mail and all that stuff? We got that too. You want to send text messages? We got that too. You want Apple Pay to be integrated the way Android Pay is? We got that too. You want Siri to be better? She gonna get better. That's what I heard. That's what I just saw. You want to come against Apple? And listen, I am not an Apple fanboy, but boy, you have to give credit where credit is due. They just came out and said, you know what? We want this. Oh, we gonna take it this year. You Android 7. But listen, what you want to do, Android? Clean up your mess. Get rid of fragmentation. Update your devices. Do something. Come with it. While you waiting, we gonna be King Supreme. That's what I heard today. We gonna bring it. Hey, listen, we gonna bring it. Let's see. Apple just revealed the iPhone 8 or something. No, they didn't know. This is all about software, but they did announce hardware, new iMac, KBLA processors in it, iMac, iPad Pros. Also, they talked about, this is all about software, but they did release hardware. They also came out with the iPod. I mean, the HomePod or whatever they called it, which is pretty neat, you know. Hey, listen, it's going to rock the house. They say it's going to rock the house. Listen, for $350, I'm going to see if it's going to rock the house. And let's see. When you design the hardware and software to be integrated, seamless, you have something special. Shouts out to Timothy. That's exactly what Apple doing today. That's exactly what Apple doing. Dude made a video covered less than 5 minutes of the iPad Pro. It looks good. Yeah, it looks good. iPad Pro looks good. It looks good, man. Shouts out to KB in the building. It looks good, KB. Apple is Skynet. Look out to look over power. They should name it iPad. Yeah, I mean, you know, hey, I don't know, but I can tell you what, I was intrigued about it. I was intrigued about every aspect of this because I felt something different in this keynote address. I felt that Apple said, you know what, for year after year after year, we've been getting slammed by not bringing this, not bringing it. Now they update their maps, they updating everything get updated. I liked that if the integration with the iPad, that they bringing in some better, you know, business features, integration with the pen and stuff like that. That means that the iPad Pros is it. That's it. Because they didn't talk about iPad Airs. They didn't talk about no iPad Minis. No. You go pay $700. You go get an iPad Pro. You want to pay for the pencil, pay $99 for it. You want the keyboard and all that good stuff, hey, you pay for it. That's how it's going to work. We're not coming out with no iPad Airs and all that stuff no more. It's going to be iPad Pros. That's it. And that's a good thing. Come out with iPad Pro. Screw all the rest of that stuff. Just come out with one device, small, 10-inch, 13-inch, that be done with it. Make it look good. Make it have some functionality with it. It looks like it's going to be a winner. All right, here we go. What did they announce that Android doesn't have? See, the thing about it is Android already have some of this stuff. All right. What they announced, 86% of iOS devices on the latest and greatest operating system, and only 7% of Android devices is not on Nougat, not even Nougat. We got Android O about to come out. So that means when Android O come out, you're going to have 0%, less than 0%, but less than 1% devices going to be running that operating system. That's a big deal to me. Listen, a lot of people say, I don't be worried about no operating system. Listen, I'm in the tech community. I want the latest and greatest operating system. Android don't deliver. Another thing that they talked about was, iMacs, okay, computers. Now, obviously, Android doesn't have computers. So, the iMacs updated to the KBA processors. You got 30 days, you can get a lot more RAM. All right, you go set you back $5,000 on the new iMac Pro with the Xeon processors in it. So they're gonna set you back by $5,000. So me personally, I figure, hey, listen, if you go for iMac, might as well go for the Big Daddy 5K display. That's what Apple bought. They bought computers. They bought, now don't get me wrong, they got a Google Home, right? But there's a competition that they're doing, all right? They're putting a lot of technology in it. I don't know until I get it, but they talk real good about some of the integrations and stuff like that. So what do Android have? Android need help. And listen, man, I got 72 phones, right? And just like 7%, I got 7% of 72 phones that's running on Nougat. And hey, man, listen. I got phones that's still running on Android 5, man. So, I mean, hey. Hey, listen, I don't even make iPhone videos, but man, I was intrigued about this keynote address, and that's why I call this the after party. A lot of Android fans probably ain't there like, we already got this on Android. That ain't no big deal. But for iOS users, man, for me that's rocking all these iPads and I don't use them, it gonna make me use my iPads. And that's a big thing to me, all right? For me, got all these iPads sitting back here, $1,200 for iPad Pro, right? That I don't even use. Listen, I did an unboxing of this iPad. I did an unboxing of this, right? And the battery is dead. I don't even use this thing. I don't use it. But maybe after seeing this AR, I will use it. My goodness, this AR alone, say I'm gonna use my iPad. All right, here we go. I assumed the iPad 10.5 will have 4 gigs of RAM. Now the iPad Pro got the 4 gigs of RAM, so I would assume that it will. All the iPad Pros right now coming out with 4 gigs of RAM, except that crap that just dropped, the mini or whatever. I don't know, they did something. Upgrade phones, you will have the latest operating system. Not necessarily. Think about it. A lot of people some people buy 2016 phones. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody. First of all, not 2017 phones not even out. Not all of them, all right? Unless you go with a Galaxy phone. A lot of people don't like Samsung. A lot of people won't go with another device. And unfortunately, and look, remember CES? How many phones that they had dropped at CES that was running Android 6? Y'all remember that? Remember we was talking about this like way back in January, that they releasing phones at CES with Android 6 on it. Remember that? I'm like, wait a minute. That phone got Android 6 on it. If they promise Android 7 later on this year, now wait a minute. Why give me Android 7 with Android O coming out? That's what I'm talking about. So upgrade your phone. Yeah, you might get Android 6. But after releasing the Note 8, Apple, let's see, what will Apple do? Listen, that's one device, right? Look, the Note 8. I don't get me wrong. I think the Note 8, if Samsung do it right, listen, I've been talking about this on this YouTube channel a while, man, about the aspect ratio and stuff like that, man. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I am not a fan for a Note device coming out 18:9 aspect ratio. I am not a fan about that, and I'm gonna tell you right now, if it comes out like that, y'all, I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm gonna talk about it. I am a Note fan. I got all the Note devices. Note 1, Note 2, Note 3. I sold my Note 4, but I got a Note 5. I had a Note 7, right? After Flame I had 3 Note 7s. I did all those videos on this YouTube channel about the Note 7, and I returned all of them, right? So now I'm rolling with a Note 5, right? A Note 5 as my primary, all right? Because, listen, let's be honest. If I carry the S8, I got problems with the camera with the S8, so I can't carry the S8. The Note 5 camera to me is better than the S8 camera. Or I'm gonna get the G6, which is better than the S8 camera. So I'm not even using the S8 anymore. I just dropped the video. I might use the S8 for decks. All right. So but I'm using the Note 5 and I'm using the Stylo 3 because I'm reviewing the Stylo 3, right? But I'm sitting like, wow, hey, listen, the Note 8, listen. So here's the question. Are we going to put everything in the bucket for the Note 8? That's going to be Android savior? That can't be Android savior, the Note 8. All right, you might say, okay, the Note 8 go shut it all down. Man, we put all our eggs in a basket for the Note 8. It's going to be a phenomenal phone, but Android got 20,000 phones out there, man. I mean, they releasing phones every week. Every time I go to Best Buy, they got all these new Sony phones out right now. They got the OnePlus 5 about to come out. You got all these phones coming out, right? You got some phones that got Android 7. Some phones got Android 7.1. Some phones got Android 7.1 by 2. Why they all can't just be on one accord? Why I got to spend $1,000 every 6 months on the phone just to get the latest operating system? So if I want Android O, that means by December, I need to buy me a new phone. Because if I want the latest operating system, if I want Android O, when they release Android O, if I want Android O, I got to spend $1,000 to go buy another phone. So that means in 2018, right, I would be stuck with a phone in 2017. And if I want the next iteration of Android, when it comes out, same time this year, that means I got to buy 2 phones every year. Well, I mean, I buy more than 2 phones, but I'm just saying for the average consumer to stay on the latest and greatest operating system, you have to buy 2 phones a year. All right, here we go. Carriers hold up the latest, hold up the OS update. But guess what? When iOS 11 drops, this is the thing. We talk about the carriers. I know about this carrier stuff because they got the tester, they put their bloatware on and stuff like that, right? I know about this. But when iOS drop iOS 11, ain't no carrier ain't got nothing to do with it. when iOS 11 drops, just like iOS 10, iOS 9, every time they drop a new iOS, it ain't got nothing to do with the carriers. They go roll it out. Listen, this whole stream is dedicated to Apple. I just want y'all to understand this. This stream is dedicated to Apple. So I don't want y'all guys to be thinking I'm trying to debate with y'all guys. All right, I'm just giving Apple its 15 minutes of fame right now. All right, I'm giving Apple its fame right now. This stream is called a WWDC after party. So I don't want y'all to think that I'm going against you guys. All right. This is the after party of WWDC. So this whole stream is dedicated to Apple. That's why I'm saying a lot of these things. I don't want y'all guys to get upset now. Just make sure we understand that. All right, here we go. I'm not trying to give anything a pass because Android absolutely sucks when it comes down to updates. But Android has a lot more devices to update, where there's less Android, it's easier to upgrade 2 devices. I understand, right? So that is the problem. But whose problem is that, though? Is it the consumer problem? That they got 100 different kinds of Android phones? Is that a consumer problem that we shouldn't buy them? Or that's an Android problem because they're using Android software? Android operating system. So who do we blame as consumers that we don't get security updates, that we don't get operating system updates? Who do we blame though? Because we just can't say, well, Android got so many phones, it is what it is. No, think about this. When you bought your phone, if you bought a Galaxy S8 Plus, you just shelled out almost $900 for that phone, right? Is it fair to you to spend $1,000 on a phone that Just because Android got 100 different versions of Android out there, all these phones out here ain't they're not responsible for updating them. So we go just spend $1,000 for nothing. That's why I'm going there with this, guys. Think about this. If we gonna spend $1,000 on the phone, you spend $1,000 on the phone. You want your updates. You're damn right I want my updates. When the next 2 years, I want updates. I want at least two versions of Android. And I don't want to wait. Why they say, well, Eric, if you don't want to wait, get a Pixel. Right? If you don't want to wait, get a Pixel. All right. Let's see. Average consumer don't care about operating system updates. Let me tell you something. My daughter come to me a lot, and first thing she asks me is, "Hey, I heard about this new update for iOS. It's coming." Or she'll say, "Daddy, I just my iPhone just updated." The average consumer do care about updates because I hear them all the time. My Android phone is slow. When they go update this thing? I mean, you listen, that's the average consumer say that. This Android phone is slow. When they go send an update out, or they say, I just got an update for my Android phone. Woo! It's running a lot better now. So the average consumer may know a little more than we give them credit for when it comes down to updates. So I hear it all the time in a while. You hear Apple people say, "Oh, I just got an update. I when a new update coming and all this here," because everybody, all the millennials knew something. It was something about this iMessage when this iOS 10 came out, right? All the millennials wanted that new messenger. They're like, "Man, I want to update my phone." They knew it. All right, here we go. True, it should be our problem, but it is. It is. Let me tell you something, Richard. You're right. It is our problem. But we the ones that when we hear new phones, essential phones, $699, or we hear a Pixel phone come out at $850, we hear the Galaxy S8 come out at $850. You hear the OnePlus 5 might be at $700. You hear all these phones with all these high-ass price tags, right? And what do? We go out here and we buy this crap, right? We buy them. And what happens? In 6 months, ain't no updates, no security patches, no support, none of that stuff, man. So yeah. Let's see. So just imagine if Google locked down Android. Now we heard this. I'm gonna finish your thing. We heard that Android is working. As a matter of fact, it's a beta already out there that they are locking Android down. Well, this new operating system. I don't know if it's gonna come true or not, but we've seen Android doing something with something new. Probably won't come out this year, but I don't know. We would have two choices. We would have two phones. A choice from the Google Pixel or an iPhone. How boring would that be? Well, the thing about it is, with a Pixel or even with stock Android, they do have developed. Well, you say if they lock it down. I mean, they got. I don't know, man. I don't know. Listen, I can't answer that question. I mean, they got. Launchers you can get, the customized launchers. They got customized launchers out there that you can get, so yeah. Eric, who's better, Android or Apple in your opinion? All right, so I like Android. All right, I like Android because I use Android for business. I can do a lot of tinkering with Android. All right, I like Android. And listen, I always buy the latest and greatest stuff. So operating systems, I'm always gonna have a device that's going to have the latest operating system on it. But I do have many phones that's still rocking Android 6. I have some phones that's rocking Android 5. But I do like Android as my choice of operating system. Apple has great updates and iOS is fluid and smooth. And you got a lot of support for Apple. If I crack my glass on my iPhone, I can within a mile from where I live, I can find me an iPhone place that could replace that screen today. Today. They got Apple. I got Apple stores everywhere. Almost every mall, at least 2 malls near me, has an Apple store. That's always packed, by the way. So if I needed support for my iMac or my MacBook Pro or all these iPhones I got sitting back here, I can set up an appointment and walk right in and they'll take care of me. Now, if I took my Galaxy S8 and I just cracked that screen, I don't have no Samsung places near me that I can get it fixed today. I would have to send my device off to a Samsung carrier and wait. I know God knows how long until they fix it. Now, a lot of people say they just bring their phones to a carrier. I buy all my phones on lock, so I ain't locked to no carrier. They don't like me. I don't know. It's a difference. I do like Android. But hey, it is what it is. All right, here we go. Let's see. Tyson would blow Apple out of the water with updates. Yeah, if Tyson was ever here, that's the thing. Tyson is not here. iOS is here. I would believe that if Samsung really bought out Tyson, that they have full control over the operating system or whatever, however you want to do it. But Tyson is not here. That's the thing. Let's see. Put the OEM skins in the Play Store. Yeah, I don't know. This Samsung nice on deck. Shouts out to Tanner. Samsung nice on deck. Let's remember, half the time Android get updates is bug in it. But that's the thing, guys. We get an update. As consumers, we want the update, but sometimes it's buggy. Why we deal with this, man, as consumers? I never could understand us as consumers. We take subpar crap from people. You know what I'm saying? And I look, don't get me wrong. I'm taking Apple's side today because Apple stuck their chest out and they handled their business. Now, this stream is dedicated to Apple. So I am going to criticize Android in a lot of different things, in a lot of different ways. As a consumer, you pay $800+ for a phone and you get your update and it's buggy. Why we deal with it, man? You know, I mean, why we even buy the next iteration of a Samsung device or HTC device or any Android phone that every time we get an update is bad? Then why we deal with it? Why do we deal with it? We don't have to deal with it. We don't have to buy the next iteration. We could take that some gun, put it on Swapper and sell it and go buy another brand. See, that's the thing. That's what I'll do. If I got a operating system update and it's crappy as hell, I mean it's time to move on. You know what I'm saying? All right, here we go. Nobody's checking for Tyson. It's terrible. Maybe it is terrible. Mr. Chicago in the building. Listen, that's what I'm saying. I mean, we talk about Tyson, man. Tyson don't even exist, in my opinion. We hear about Tyson. We've been hearing about Tyson for years. Where is that? Where is that? I don't see Tyson. All right, here we go. Customers have the right to get the latest updates when they have the cash, when they spend a lot of money out. You know what, Deepak? That's the whole statement right now. The argument is, you know, that's why Apple today, this crush Android. Look, Tim Cook didn't even take 5 minutes when he came out talking about iOS. What the first statement he came out? That's the first. So he couldn't even take a breath. You could tell that Tim Cook was itching to make that statement. He was itching to show that graph. And he do it every year. I know he do it every year. But boy, it's like he just felt him like, you know, 86% of iPhones on our latest and greatest operating system and only 7% of Android devices. Woo! He crushed them right there. That was a huge statement for him right there. That statement right there when he says 7%, under 10% of Android devices, under 10%. That means that what? Pixel, the V20, wait a minute, the V20, the Pixel, Stylo 3 just came out last week, so they ain't no choice. You know, the V20, the G6, all right. OnePlus 3T, OnePlus 3. But man, they got like 200 like different Android phones out there, and I mean they dropping. I mean Sony phones came out this week, so well last week or whatever. So they rocking Android 7. But man, there we go. I believe Tizen is on some phones in other countries. Yeah, I think so too, if I'm not mistaken, but I doubt that they will ever come to the US. Career is where the home base is. Yeah, let's see. Android is a uncoordinated mess. Good show, thanks. Listen, if you're new to the YouTube channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Today is, we just talked about it. I just talked all my notes about what we just saw from WWDC. I'm excited about it, man. I'm sitting up there jumping out of my seat, man, when this guy, I mean, they was, woo, this to me, I talked about this earlier in the show. It's one of the best WWDCs. I felt that they couldn't wait to do this WWDC. They bought out new product. They updated the Macs. They updated the iMacs. They also talked about the new product iMac Pro, which they put Xeon processor in, 128 gigs of RAM in it. Also new iPad Pros. All right, iPad Pros and iOS 11. And they talked about Mac High Sierra. All right, so that's what all was brought to the table. Also, some new product. They talk about the HomePod. All right, look pretty neat looking device. Okay, so they talked about a slew of updates and stuff. But we all know that iOS wouldn't go change too much. I like what they're doing with the iPad version of iOS. That is what we're looking for. They bought it. They bought it good. Also, the new iPad is bringing in a lot of updates as far as the Fusion chips in it, man, AR and VR all in the same keynote address. Listen, the demo for the AR flowed me. I'm telling you, because right now the Fab 2 Pro, it came out in 2016, was the only device that had AR. And I made plenty of videos on this YouTube channel that I was blown away about AR. Man, I'm blown away about AR. And then in 2017, the Asus Zenfone AR with the 8 gigs of RAM is the only 2017 device so far that's bringing in AR. It's like the whole Project Tango is gone. You know what Apple did? Boom! AR. What? What happened to Project Tango? Where is that? Done. They just left there and took Project Tango and dissolved it all in one day. Not only did they dissolve Project Tango, they're bringing in VR and AR to the same device. Think about that for a second. Your next iPhone will have VR, AR, iOS 11, all the enhancements, everything you want, everything they talked about today is going to be on your next iPhone. Where Android at? Where AR at for Android? Where it's at? It ain't there. I mean, where is VR for Android? You got to have a Samsung device. Right? Where is that? Where is that? Where is that? Daydream? Daydream. Daydream. Yeah. Okay. LG's in the building. My new house for buying. LG's building me a new house for buying the G6. Hey, I believe you. LG wants you with that device. Let's see. We all gathered here to say our farewells to Android. I like that statement. You know I was going to say that. All right, let's see. Oh, man. Let's see. 7% was before the LG was given the LG. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Like, all right, cool. All right, cool. So, you like 7% is right now until everybody get their buy one get six free LG G6s, right? Because I mean, you know, hey, you can get an LG G6, you go get a free TV, a free Google Home, you go get a refrigerator, you go get a washer and dryer, and a rebate check just for buying a $220 G6. Damn, they gonna give you like $2,000 worth of stuff for paying $200. All right, here we go. Project Tango, Galaxy Gear, Oculus, HTC Vive. Look, they just scrapped the whole VR department. It's like, look, I need all y'all to take a vacation. I look that. Look, like the email just got an email saying, "We on vacation." Oh, here we go. Shout out to John in the building. What would it take for you to leave Android? I'm gonna always stay with Android. Look, on this YouTube channel, y'all know I always kind of bring iPhones out every now and then, and I do, you know, some videos on cameras with iPhones. I don't really make a lot of iPhone videos. I got iPhone 7s and stuff like that, but I don't even use an iPhone. I buy them all, but I never use them. What would it take for me to leave Android? I've seen some good stuff with iOS 11, man. I really did. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Without, you know, split screens and all that stuff, what I saw with iOS 11 just now, the only problem with me is I like full customization, you know. I like my home screen. I'm gonna give you an example. I like my home screen to look like this. Nothing. This is how I like my home screen. iOS, you know, you got to have your grid of icons and stuff like that. I don't like that too much. I don't like that you know, you really can't custom. I'm not worried about the widgets. I don't never put widgets on my phone, but I like my phone simple, easy. I don't have a lot of apps. I use a lot of business stuff, and God forbid, man, one day, Apple, one day come out with something to compete with the Galaxy Note series, and I'll be all in. I'll be all in. I'm liking what I see with iOS 11, but I like my Android devices clean, you know, but I don't know. I do like what I'm seeing with iOS 11, though. Here we go. Let's see. They didn't get the memo. Why don't you sell them some of your iPhones? Oh man! Hey, iOS 11 on deck. Now the beta version, if you're a developer, you could go down and snatch the beta version. It's available for registered developers. You know, most of y'all guys is registered developer. You paid your fee, and I paid my fee. I just ain't never developed for Apple. But yeah, for y'all developers out there, go on snatch iOS 11. You know, it's gonna probably be a little buggy. You know, put it on your secondary device. I don't think you want to put it on your main device or whatever, but go on snatch iOS 11. I might pull out my iPhone and go on and get iOS 11 on and play around with it. You know, there's going to be some things that ain't going to be working, but yeah, so I'm going to try to probably throw it on one of my iPhone 6s or something like that and see what it's all about. Let's see. iOS 12, the loop. You said iOS 12 Lubriderm edition. Nah, man, let me tell you something. iOS 12, after the debacle with Android, it leaves the door open for some very good innovation for iOS 12. I think after iOS 11, I think Apple might take the torch and run with it, man. So you think about that for a second, right? You think about, okay, you might say iOS 12 go have the Lubriderm edition. But I'm thinking Apple right now go take iOS 11 and take it to the next level to iOS 12 and go take charge of the mobile market. So now though they gonna say Android Lubriderm edition when the next iteration of Android, where you got 1% of Android devices that's running the latest and greatest operating system. That's where the Lubriderm go come in at. That's where the butt paste go come in at. Or for Android, not for iOS. You got the wrong thing. It's going for Android. That's gonna be for Android. They ain't gonna be for no iOS. iOS gonna be clean. Yeah, you know, I mean, listen, I just being real. You know, the Lubriderm gonna be for Android, not iOS. And look, iOS bringing AR. Where is that for the Android? I mean, where is the Asus Zenfone AR? I mean, that thing was talked about back in CES. I mean, we 6 months into the year. Where's the AR phone at, man? I mean, where is it? I seen that they dropped the Zoom. The Zoom is out. The Zoom came out last week, so we got the Zenfone 3 Zoom is out. All right. Hey, shouts out to Asus. They the ones who trying. You know, I mean, they got AR. I mean, shouts out to Motorola that came out with the Fab 2 Pro. You know, Project Tango was, I don't know. Here we go. Let's see. Samsung killed Apple 5 years back, and now Tim Cook has updated iOS almost every day. That's so funny. Well, no, I don't know. I mean, I think we're on iOS 10.5 or something. They're not updating iOS every day. I mean, you think about this, if they find a vulnerability, but you got to take your hats off to Apple then. If they updating it every day, that means they fixing it. Man, I just dropped a video of the Samsung Galaxy S8. Where that update at? Where my Bixby at? You know, I mean, at least if Apple's updating their devices every day, like you just said, that means that's good. They fixing it. Why my update for my Galaxy S8? Why my update for my other devices? Why my update for these devices back there? They ain't giving me no updates. So at least Apple doing something right. We want dark mode to split screen on iOS. I think you getting it. I think split screen is coming. They didn't talk about dark mode, but I'm quite sure when the iPhone, you know, they still gonna be tweaking iOS until the release of the iPhone. So yeah, Eric, what is AR? What is AR? All right, so augmented reality. I have videos on my YouTube channel. I got videos on my YouTube channel that I use AR on the Fab 2 Pro. It's called augmented reality. They actually had a game out that tried to do AR. What is that game where everybody was going crazy over? Pokemon Go. All right, Pokemon Go, where you have your phone looking somewhere and you got something that's in your screen, but if you look away, it's not there, but you look at it, it's there. Well, that's a form of augmented reality. Pokemon Go tried to do that. All right. But Apple is going all in on augmented reality. I have videos on my YouTube channel that go into complete detail about augmented reality. Listen, I was at the Fab 2 Pro. I was in my backyard playing games and recording myself at the same time. And it is amazing. I love AR. To see it come on the iPhone may be a difference maker. Look, you think about this. Apple selling 70, 80 million iPhones, right? I don't know. That's the numbers that's was thrown out, right? Could you imagine if the iPhone 8 or X or whatever is coming out, right? And all the Apple iPhone 7s and Apple 6Ss, right? Millions and millions of them all of a sudden get this AR update, and you got all of them out there with AR talking about, look what my phone can do. Can your Android phone can do this? Right now, it's like the opposite. We go to people with iPhones and say, hey, my phone could do this. Can your iPhone do that? Now you gonna have iPhone people going to Android people telling them, I got AR. You got AR? So, hey, how many times have y'all took y'all Galaxy phones and threw it in the iPhone person's face and said, look, I can swipe to the side, and I got a bar here. I can do this with my phone. I can do this. Can you do that on the iPhone? Now you gonna have iOS people go come to the Android people and say, I got AR. Do you got AR? No. I don't need AR. I don't like that. I'll never do that anyway. And you go see all the iPhone people praising Apple for bringing AR apps and all that stuff. And all of a sudden Android people say, man, I ain't worried about no AR. See, that's the thing. That's how Android people go say, I ain't even worried about that. Just like y'all come to me on my YouTube channel talking about, man, I ain't worried about the fingerprint scan on the Galaxy S8. How many people here? Well, you know what? You may not be worried about it, but I paid almost $1,000 for that phone. I'm worried about it. It's in the wrong damn place. And I'm not going to give it a pass for it. See, a lot of people say, I don't use Bixby. Yeah, but it got a dedicated Bixby button sitting right there, right? Shh, you got to be kidding me. I paid $1,000 for the phone. It ain't working. It's like buying a car. It's like buying a car with half the oil in it, man. It's like buying a car with half the oil in it, half the transmission fluid in it, right? You ride it for a couple of months, you go burn the motor out in it. Or you got to go get an oil change. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they're going to tell you, no. We're going to put half the oil in your vehicle. Come back in about 5 months if you haven't burned out your motor. And I'm going to fill it up with oil. I'm going to fill it up with oil. No. Don't. I'm going to give you half the oil. But come back in about 6 months and I'm going to put the other oil in there. You know? Let's see. New to your channel, just subscribe. I'm an iOS guy, but I like your style. Maybe I can learn about Android. Shouts out to Matt. Welcome to the YouTube channel. I do 3 live streams a week. I do Monday morning hangover, and I do special events like this. Okay. Also, I do Wednesday night tech talk, and I do Saturday night tech talk, and I put videos all in between. All right. So today was a big announcement. WWDC. We all thought that, you know, WWDC wasn't gonna be that big, right? To me, I was excited. I was floored when I saw AR on an iPad. Man, that is a wonderful thing. That's a wonderful thing, seeing AR on an iPad. AR and VR coming to iPhones. That's a wonderful thing, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. Yeah, it's a wonderful thing. Yes, I've had AR before you. Yeah, I'm an iOS guy. Shouts out to Matt. I can see Matt go be like, hey man, look at this. Look at this AR. Look at that AR, man. You got that on that Galaxy phone? Oh no. Whoa, no. Remember how like all the Galaxy phones commercials, right? How everybody be standing in line waiting on iPhones? Could you imagine Apple doing something like that and say, hey man, I got AR on my iPhone. Your Galaxy phone got that? Oh, it don't. Oh, okay. Look, what goes around comes around, right? It might took Apple a little while, but hey. Look, Apple just bent Annie Rooney over and Techzilla. Listen, everybody in the comments, read Techzilla's statement, and I'm telling you, everybody, all the big timers from Android and Google and all of them, they looking at the keynote address like, man, come on, man. Apple putting Xeon processors in their computers, man. Wait, what? Did Apple just show AR and VR in the same keynote address? Wait, what? They just drop a new iPad? Wait, what? All the iMacs just got updated? We getting MacBook Pros? What? We get... Hey man, look, we gotta do something about this, man. Apple just lay up there and put us under the bus, man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much that you're enjoying the show. Listen, this YouTube channel is about entertainment. and about technology, all in between. We don't get upset with nobody, we don't fight with nobody here. We just have fun. This streams always be fun. So welcome to the stream. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you very much. Here we go. It sounds like Apple's raining down on Android, and it's storming raining right now. Y'all hear that thunder and lightning? Yeah, it's storming raining. I think Apple has finally woke up. Yeah. They had some of this. Yeah, I think Apple did went to Starbucks and said, you know what? We ain't playing with y'all no more, man. I'm telling you, I think after seeing what I saw today, I think Apple said, we ain't playing with you no more. And guess what's going to happen? They will take that same momentum and drop this iPhone. Now, we've been seeing all these renders, this ugly looking iPhone. This might be just a camouflage. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, Apple revealed that iPhone and everybody about go drop. Think about that for a second, right? You already go get VR, AR. That means that this Apple screen might be high resolution. All right, so think about that. You got AR, VR. The new iPhone gonna have high resolution. All right, because hey, VR, you need that high resolution. All right, AR, you need power. So that means that this AX10 chip, Fusion chip, yeah, they about to bring the thunder. Yeah. All right. Here we go. The keynote address was full of nice stuff. Yo, what's up with you, Bruce, in the building? While Microsoft is putting Velvet on their keyboard, Apple is slapping 128 gigs in their computers. Right. Chicago. Like, shouts out to Mr. Chicago. Let me read this statement that it is. While Microsoft is putting Velvet on their keyboards, Apple is slapping 128 gigs of RAM in their computers. Wow, that is a strong statement. That means that them clowns over at Microsoft scratching their head like they putting Xeon processors in a computer, and we just dropped a Surface Pro with 4 gigs of RAM and for $1,000. We just dropped a Surface laptop that's running the Microsoft RT, right? They ain't even got full version of Windows on it. We gonna give you a $1,000 computer that's running Windows RT on it for $1,000, and Apple just putting Xeon processors in them with 128 gigs of RAM, and we putting Velvet on our keyboards. Chicago. Man, I'm going to tell you something. You right. Miss Chicago said it right. While Apple's bringing the thunder, Microsoft putting Velvet on their keyboards. I mean, you got to be kidding me. Apple just not bought the thunder. Man. What is that, Velvet? What is that, Velvet? Woo! Yeah, wait. Give me the iPhone. What is that, Velvet? Apple just dropped the thunder. They put Velvet on it. What is that, Velvet? Shouts out to Coming to America, man. Oh, man. Today, go down in history to me. People call this keynote address boring. Where was it boring at? I mean, Apple just bought the thunder after thunder. They went after Microsoft and they slammed Android. They just lay up there and came out with a new operating system, new computers, high-end Kaby Lake specs, high-end this, high-end that. And then after they messed over Microsoft, they did up there and said, let's take on Android, right? They went to Android and they popped up AR and VR. They popped up with, listen, where's the tablets? Where's the Android tablets at? Besides Samsung just dropped a tablet, that's it, right? Then you got Apple to say, we took care of Microsoft. We putting Xeon processors in it, Now we go take care of Android. And they killed both of them. Lay up there and sliced them. Right then. Yep. he just kicked Joe Louis' ass. Shouts out to Kobe Hop in the building. Yeah, 2 live streams in one day. Yeah, 2 live streams in one day. Yes. Yep, it was a classic. Sexual chocolate. I believe the kids are our future. That's what happened just now, right? Microsoft just did this. and Apple just did this. Oh, okay, I see people love Apple and use Android, including me. Yeah. Oh, man, let me tell you something. This has been crazy. Easy, you crazy. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Damn, that boy can sing. He read the collection plate and he put a chicken bone in it. I kick your ass. You old motherfucker. Oh, man. Yeah, he good and terrible. All right, we're supposed to be talking about Apple, guys. Look, you're right. This keynote address just put Microsoft and Android underneath a stone of rocks. Yeah, he played Joe the policeman on the going down episode of What's Your Mama? Oh, man. So, do you like WWDC today? Yes, listen. So, as I talked about WWDC, I talked about all my notes. So, I went through all my notes with WWDC. I would tell you that, to me, if I wanted to rate WWDC out of all the WWDCs, this was one of the best. High up there. You know, back when Steve Jobs was alive, he sold it. But this time, they didn't sell it. They bringing it. One thing to try to sell it. That's another thing is to sell it. They see Google Home, Alexa, Apple done bought the thunder, right? I mean, you know, so this was the worst WWDC ever. Wow, no. I disagree with you. I think this was the best WWDC ever. While Microsoft is putting Velvet on their computers, and Apple just is putting 128 gigs in computers with Xeon processors and coming up with 5K displays and all this stuff. Like, what Microsoft at? Selling a laptop for $1,000 that got Microsoft RT on it. Come on, man. No. You know, while Apple did updated all their devices, all their MacBooks to the Cable 8 processors and all that stuff like that, Microsoft is sitting putting Velvet on their computers. No, man, I just totally disagree. When I saw AR running on the iPad, I jumped out of my seat, coffee about to spill all over me. That's the best thing I ever saw. Apple just dropped VR and AR at the same time. Where Android at? Where they at? I mean, where's that? iOS 11 on an iPad just made me want to use an iPad again, right? I mean, gee whiz. Look, I unboxed this thing on my YouTube channel, and it's been sitting dead for months. I haven't used it. But when I seen AR running on this thing, I'm like, whoa. Matter of fact, you can see that I don't use my iPad because if you watch my YouTube channel, I've changed my background. So I don't use it at all, right? But what I just saw, oh, they bought the thunder. They took the gloves off. I totally disagree that that was a boring keynote address. I would sit up here and tell you that I was floored. I was jumping up and down. Tim Cook couldn't even get out there fast enough to bash Android for having 7% of the Android devices on Android Nougat, while they got 86% of iOS devices is on the latest and greatest operating system. To me, that's a big deal, right? Where's AR? We got the Fab 2 Pro that came out in 2016. Where's Project Tango? Where is that? They didn't even talk. They're not even talking about Project Tango anymore. At least ASUS trying to come out with a device, ASUS ZenFone AR. Where is that? Right? It was talked about like way back at CES. Where the device at? ASUS just dropped their Zoom phone. Where is that? Right? So no AR. VR, we got Daydream. And Samsung is the leader of VR. The leader of VR. That's it. Right? Apple just dropped VR and AR. Right? Microsoft, why they making computers with Velvet on it, with the laptops with 4 gigs of RAM with i5 processors that cost $1,000 that's running Windows RT. Microsoft then put Cable A processors in it, i7 32, 64 gigs of RAM in it, Xeon processors with 128 gig configurations. What did we just see? Like Apple just came out there and said, drop the mic. Right. I mean, let's call it how it is. They just put Microsoft underneath a box of rocks, and they couldn't wait to get the Android. They came on Android, they bought the thunder, took the gloves off, and they came out boxing, and they did a good job of it. Was this the worst? Listen, everybody have a different level of opinion. Was this the worst keynote address? I beg to differ. I watch them every year. I think this was the best keynote address. They came out swinging. They came out swinging hard. They didn't pull no punches. They went against Alexa. They went against Google Home. They bought the thunder. Hey, it is what it is. Call it how it is. They lay up there and bought the thunder, took the gloves off. Took care of Microsoft, and they took care of Android in one keynote address. They set it down. All right. iOS. Oh, shouts out to Jay Will in the building. I'll take your iPad. Listen, you know what? I don't use the iPad because I like for business. I talk about this on my stream. iOS, this is killing me. It's no, you can't. I couldn't use it. But what I saw today, with iOS 11, man, I'm gonna charge it on up, man, and I'm gonna use my iPad. Think about this. I'm saying that iOS has excited me. I'm talking about an Android user. I don't even make videos on this YouTube channel, and I got all these iPhones sitting back here, and I don't even make videos about iPhones, right? Because I don't use them. But now, since I see the energized Apple coming to life after they had a couple of cappuccinos, a cup of coffee, and they said, you know what, we going after them all. And that's what they did. They took the gloves off, and they stuck it where they really wanted to stick it. They talked about statistics. They bought in the thunder, 128 gigs. Are we real here? I'm not talking about no computer you could build. I'm talking about a computer you could go buy. Think about that. I'm not talking about a computer you got to build, putting 64 gigs of memory and all that. No. I'm talking about a computer I could walk right in the Apple store and buy it. I ain't got to build it. All right, here we go. Shouts out to the mods in the building. Hey, it is what it is. I know usually when you do this type of stuff, and today, guys, this stream is dedicated to Apple. So of course, the name of this stream is After Party. This whole stream is dedicated to Apple, guys. Y'all know I'm an Android user, but God, man, let me tell you something. They bought the thunder. Yeah, listen. So a lot of people that come aboard, a lot of people figure, wait, Eric, what you talking about? This whole stream is dedicated to iOS. And what I seen today, I was excited. I was floored. I was jumping out. I mean, we was up there screaming in the Telegram groups, like, man, what's going on? Look, you see that? Yeah. So shouts out to the mods. Handle y'all business. I see y'all guys in the building. Y'all take care of some business. Yeah, appreciate that. All right, here we go. Files for iOS is being copied from the Surface Pro. Hey, they bought it. We needed it on iOS. It don't matter if it's copied. It's here now. Listen, of course a lot of stuff is being copied from Microsoft. They left the door open. Think about it. Microsoft, instead of coming out with a Surface with 4 gigs and the i5 processor for $1,000, they should have bought the Thunder. Right? Don't get me wrong. They bought some stuff. Right? Don't think about this. I don't care if it's copied. Think about this. They talk about, let's get back into a phone for a second. Right? The HTC U11. What's the first thing everybody say? They copied it from the V20. Okay. I don't care. Bring it. Give it to me. I'd rather have it than not have it. Hey, listen. It's a file system on iOS that could be shared. I like that. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. All right. Let's see. Galaxy S8 charging 1 hour. Yeah, but iPhones takes forever to charge. So good to see fast charging on iOS. Thank you, Apple, for bringing fast charging. I mean, listen, it's all good. They bringing it. They ain't skipping a year. That's what I'm saying. Like, we had, of course, Android had some of this stuff here already. We're not debating that Android didn't have some of the stuff already. What I'm saying is that I got 78 phones, right? And out of 78 phones, I might have 10 of them that's running Android 7.0. Everything else is running 6 and 5. What I said earlier today is still a valid statement. If you spend $1,000 on the phone, so one of y'all guys commented and say, well, Eric, just buy this upgrade. Okay, and that's the case. That means you have to buy 2 phones a year. That means you have to spend $2,000 on phones just to have the latest and greatest updates. Is that right? For the average consumer, is it right? No. That's all I'm saying. All right, here we go. Files are great for us, yes. Fast charge, again, copied. That's right. But I'd rather have it. Give it to me, Apple. Bring it. Listen, give me fast charging. Give me good cameras. Listen, they putting 12, the same camera that's on the iPhone 7 is coming to an iPad with optical image stabilization, right? 12 megapixel camera in the back, 7 megapixel camera on the front. That means these cameras go be king supreme. Hey, on the iPad? Apple, Apple never does do that, But I mean, hey, Apple just put king supreme cameras on the iPad and with optical image stabilization on it. What? Hey, let's see. What are they innovating? They innovating. Android not innovating. It's like I said before, Microsoft putting Velvet on Surfaces, keyboards, while Apple is bringing the Thunder with 128 gigs and Xeon processors, right? They demonstrated today that they did photo editing on the iPad that most PCs can't. They can do it, but not as smooth as I saw it. They did the demo with an iPad using full photo editing that you need at least an i7 with 16 gigs of RAM to do. That is amazing. All right, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't care. Listen, I do photo editing and I do video editing, but what I saw from an iPad on photo editing amazed me. Just being real here, all right. What I saw with AR on the iPad is amazing because who else doing it? So is it innovative? Ain't nobody innovating right now. Who innovating? You could say Samsung. Okay, 18:9 aspect ratio. The curved display has already been out since 2 years, so we can't say the curved display. 18:9 aspect ratio. I mean, some people like it, some people don't like it. I mean, Aqua Sharp was the first one that came out with no bezel. So Samsung was the first that did the no bezels, so that's not innovating. I mean, the G6 came out with the 18:9 aspect ratio, so the Samsung device was not the first one. The no bezel-less display, the no bezel-less and all that stuff, that's already been done. So we've seen that. That's not innovation. So the G6 didn't innovate, or the Galaxy S8 hasn't innovated. So who's innovating? Ain't none of them innovating. Ain't no what you. So the question is, who's innovating? None of them. Not the S8, not the G6, not the iPhone, not Microsoft, not Apple. Nobody. Ain't nobody innovating. This stuff we see on the Galaxy S8 has been done before. The G6 did the 18:9 aspect ratio, so Samsung didn't do it first. So ain't nobody innovating. All right, here we go. Let's see. What's good with your TBs in the building? Let's see. They ain't forcing you to buy it, right? Yeah, that's right, man. The thing about it is, if you don't like iOS, that's fine. This, you know what? You know what's so funny? This is an iOS stream. Think about this, guys. When you clicked on this stream, the title of the stream is say WWDC After Party. Now, you thought that I was gonna have a WWDC after party and have a rant? I mean, if it was a bad stream, okay, then I would. But it was not that way. All right, here we go. Using the iPhone for controlling a iPad AR would be cool. Yeah, it would be cool. S8 has multitasking. Okay, Android the Pixel has multitasking now. I mean, come on, man. It's multitasking innovation in 2017. I mean, all right, so if it was 2013 and Samsung did multitasking, that is a innovation in 2013. It ain't innovation in 2017. In 2017, multitasking is not innovation. The Galaxy S8 is not innovation. The G6 came out with the 18:9 aspect ratio. The Aqua Sharp, what that was like 3 years ago, came out with the bezel-less design, right? So what we seen in 2017 is copied, already done. The Mi Mix has a bezel-less design, okay? So what Samsung is doing, LG is doing, it's all been copied already. So there's no innovation there. Why doesn't iPhone has multitasking? Well, they do. And you can multitask on the iPhone. You could click the home button twice and go to your next app. Yeah. I can use 2 SIMs on the Galaxy S8. I can use 2 SIMs on the Galaxy S7. Still not innovation. They got phones that has dual SIMs for years. I'm talking 2017 innovation. Listen, go watch my Galaxy S8 video. I just dropped my review for my Galaxy S8. All right, so here we go. We should be happy when Apple pushes the envelope. Exactly my point, Will. We should be happy when Apple pushes the envelope. That means that Android has to answer. They gotta answer. That's it. That's right. Who said they want innovation this year? To high of standards of such an amazing phone these days. Not much you could do. And you're right. I think listen, you want to innovate? Here's what you could do. Give me foldable displays. Where it's at? We thought we was going to get it in 2017. It's not here. That's innovation. What we get right now is slab, even with the Note 8. Everybody putting Android on the line for the Note 8. I mean, you gotta be kidding me, right? You mean tell me that the Galaxy Note 8 gonna be Android savior? God, every time we get into an Android discussion, people always throwing the Galaxy Note 8 into that mix. You mean to tell me that Android salvation is gonna be the Galaxy Note 8? Come on, man. That means Android got a problem. I mean, every time I do these live streams, every time I drop videos, every time I talk about Samsung, the first thing people say, well, the Galaxy Note 8 gonna be the phone of the year. It might be the phone of the year, but is that gonna be Android savior? Let's see. What do you think about the Geekbench score on the A10X? I never saw the Geekbench scores on the A10X yet. Let's see. Hey, Mr. Coco, I hear you, man. Tomorrow, I sell all my Apple gadgets. Yeah. Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. If you sell your Apple phones, Apple don't care. Android don't care. I mean, look, you can sell, if you sell all your Apple devices, you can make some money on it. Hey, hashtag fill your pockets. You're right, Easy. No new innovation. Apple products is just too high, balling on a budget. Hey, Corey, I do understand. Anything dealing with Apple, you have to pay a premium. There's been like that since Apple been in existence. Think about it. Apple just dropped a $5,000 base model computer. Base model, $5,000. They ain't playing. Hey, listen, you gotta pay to play. Listen, they just dropped a $5,000 base model computer with a Xeon processor in it. So I'm gonna tell you, the Apple's always, look, think about the Apple Pi, home Pi that's $350. They ain't playing around. It's a premium product, premium company. Apple been like that. You remember way back when the old Macs, way back in the 90s, they was selling Macs for $2,000 back in the 90s, man. Apple always sold high-end product. They sold $2,000 computers back in the 90s. You know, remember that. Remember, if you go back and look at them old keynote addresses from back in the 90s, Apple, when they told you the price, you talk about in the 90s, they were selling $2,000 computers. They always been high. So one thing you can expect from Apple is a premium price. That's one thing about it. One thing about Apple, you go get you go pay a premium price for an Apple product. It's been like that. It ain't like they just started being high. They've been high. There we go. You got to pay to play. Let's see. Take it. Let's see. Let's see. I remember that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, Corey, you remember back then before the iPhone, man. Remember before the iPhone? And if I'm not mistaken, remember when the iPad came out? It was like what, 8 gigs? Not even, was like 2 gigs or 1 gig, and that thing was high, right? Like I think like $2.99, you could put 100 songs on there. Remember that? Man, you gotta go back. It's like $2.99 for 100 songs. Right? Then when the iPhone first came out, that phone was over $600. And you had to buy that son gun off contract. I remember that because I bought 2 of them. Yeah, I remember that. Remember the first, they didn't even have no Apple Store. It was no App Store, and it was on Edge. No 3G, no 4G, none of that. You got that phone, it was on Edge. And it was $600 something. Y'all remember. Listen, go back to the very first iPhone. Go look at that keynote address. It was on Edge. No 3G. And then they came out with the iPhone 3G. Remember that? Right? You still paid $700 for that phone. And it was on 3G. While everybody else was already on HSPA Plus, Apple stuck with 3G. Right? They stuck with 3G. And everybody else was already HSPA Plus, and then when 4G came out, everybody Android had switched to 4G, and I remember I believe the iPhone 4 or the 4S was on what HSPA Plus, right? Yeah. I think the iPhone 4S or maybe the iPhone 5, they switched to, they started doing 4G. I don't know. That's a long time ago. Long time ago. All right. Let's see. It has almost $1 trillion. Let's see how is a sinking company almost worth $1 trillion? Right. And look, here's the thing. You're right. You go look at go in there and look at Apple financial reports. Off the charts. Off the charts. And let me tell you something. Off the charts. Go look at Apple financial report. Off the charts when it come down to their finances. Apple ain't losing no money. Apple winning. And when they come out with their new iPhone this year, there will be people standing outside in lines, waiting. I'm going to be one of them, waiting on the new iPhone. I did that last year. If you watch this YouTube channel, I talk about this. When the iPhone 7 came out, I was camped out for 10 hours, waiting. Had a chair by the T-Mobile store. I had already talked to the people the day before. I asked them how many iPhones they was getting. They told me 5. I told them I want all 5 of them. And right, they said, well, you got to be here early in the morning. I camped out. I got out there about 9 p.m. that night, and I spent the night at the T-Mobile store waiting. When the people came in at 6 a.m. and the other people started lining up, I told them, y'all ain't getting no iPhone because I'm buying them all. And sure enough, when I got inside T-Mobile, I bought all 5 iPhones right on the spot. And people got mad at me. I'm going to do the same thing this year for the iPhone X. When I'm going to be sitting out there camped out and wants T-Mobile or whoever I'll sit by open, I'm going in and I'm buying them all. Yep, so there it is. Shouts out to the moderator. Hey, listen, I mean, do I speak Russian? No, I don't speak Russian. I'm in the United States. So shouts out to all my international people, but I don't speak Russian. And look, when we do this type of stuff, guys, I always run into these people that come on this YouTube channel and stuff like that. So, yeah, Apple got cash. Oh, they do. They got a lot of money. Look at that facility that they building out there. It's done now, right? So people in it. Thing look like a spaceship, man. That thing big as Texas out there. The Amazon Fire Phone talking this, you sell an Apple product. All right. Yeah. All right. So I just want to have this after party with you guys about Apple. I'm very excited about what I saw today. I think Apple really done a lot of good stuff, guys. I'm gonna get on out of here. This is my second stream. Y'all guys know how I do it. Every time we got keynote addresses, we go talk about it. We go break it down, and we go have fun about it. Hopefully, y'all guys got all the information from. If you didn't watch the keynote address, I gave out all the information, all the notes, 3 pages with the notes. I talked earlier about it today. If you're just coming onto the stream, go ahead on and watch the stream early. No big deal. So thank you. What do you do? I unboxed them, and I did a giveaway with it. Yeah, I unboxed. I unboxed. If you watch my, welcome to the YouTube channel. But I've unboxed them and I did giveaways with them. Yeah, so they all gone. Well, not all of them. I still got a few of them, but I got the iPhone 7 Pluses and iPhone 7s and stuff like that. But yeah, I did give away. See, all of them gone. I gave them away. One thing that I do here is I support. All right, and I support people. Support different entities. I do a lot of giveaways on this channel. Y'all guys know I just did a big giveaway about a month ago. I gave all kinds of stuff. We gave away 2 phones. I gave away cases. I gave all kinds of stuff. I didn't even know I had gave away all that stuff. But yeah, so I did this huge giveaway about a month ago, and I gave away all that stuff. So shouts out to everybody that won. Shouts out to all the future giveaways that I got going on this YouTube channel. Shouts out to, I got a lot of stuff that's going on here in the future. All right, I'm getting ready, trying to do a back to school thing. All right, then after I do the back to school thing, then I'm getting ready for my seasonal Christmas giveaway. Y'all know I'm Tech Claus. All right, so I do the Santa Claus thing here on this YouTube channel, and I'm giving back. I'm trying to get all that stuff out to all my giveaways before Christmas. So I give back to the community. I give back to you guys. I try to have fun on this YouTube channel, but I do give back. So shouts out to everybody that win product on this channel, and I am going to continue to do that as long as I'm able to give away product. I will give it away. I get a lot of promos. I got Galaxy S8. I got Galaxy S8 promos I got to do. After I do all that, I'm giving all that stuff away, man. All right, so all these promos that I be doing, guys, I give this stuff away. I have no need for that stuff. All right, because, I mean, that's what I like to do. So after I do the video, I usually do giveaways. So stay tuned for that. Thank you. Thank y'all very much. Thank y'all very much for coming to the YouTube channel. This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. Don't forget that Wednesday I got that live stream, and I am working on some other videos this week, guys, but I'm excited about the Apple event. I was floored. It was a very good event. I think it was one of the best Apple events, period. This is Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. Thank y'all very much for watching my YouTube channel. See you guys Wednesday. Peace.